Oh, we're back here at Tanner's Orchard with Grandma Tanner. We're going to do chunky style applesauce today. Um, Lucky that we're here, I think, maybe a little bit. We're down to one employee today, aren't we? Just one
out there.
So, well, two. We got Linda in the office still. She's doing some year-end stuff. But today we're going to be doing a chunky style applesauce. It is a good treat on a cold night.
It sure is. And while the apples are almost cooked, I'm going to tell you about these soups that we're selling. This is a 3-bean chili. It's a soup base. And you just add 1 cup of water. And it's optional to do half a pound of ground like hamburger, or you can put chicken in it. You can just buy your canned chicken. This is another one, this garden vegetable soup base. And you add 1 cup of water to it, heat it, or you can add beef or chicken with it, but it already has the vegetables in it. These are really good soups, and the other night Richard and I had this tomato and basil soup base. You add 1 cup of milk, and if you want you can put a little bit of butter in it. It's really good. For 2 or 3 people, it's very good on a cold, stormy night like what we're having today.
Yeah, I sent those back with Jeffrey was home from Mississippi, college kid, and I sent those back with him. He was excited to try them out.
Yeah, it's a good thing to do. Okay, now we're going to make this chunky applesauce. The recipe is in our Gathering cookbook, our new cookbook that Jill has put out, but today I used 8 Golden Delicious. And with Golden, they're a little sweet. You don't have to use much sugar. The recipe does call for 1/2 cup to 3/4 cup sugar, which is plenty. But anyway, I cut them like this here. And then I peeled each slice. So I have it on the stove. It's cooking. And we'll see what it looks like.
It's done. Yay!
So it's called chunky, and these are all nice and soft. So what you do is just, so you have chunky sauce.
You're just using a whisk.
A whisk. You can use a tomato or a potato masher.
Use a fork.
You can just use a fork. But a lot of customers ask, how do I make applesauce? Now this can be made fresh. You can have it fresh, and they'll keep in the fridge for a little while.
It'd probably be good over ice cream.
Oh yeah, it'd be real good over ice cream. So I did add 1/4 cup of cider and 1/4 cup of water, and I've been cooking this about 15 minutes, 15 or 20 minutes. It doesn't take long. So I peeled them, so you don't have to worry about the peels being in here. But see, it's all nice and chunky. So that's all you do to it. Now I do have 1/2 cup of sugar here, which I think is plenty. So I'm only going to put about 1/4 cup, because these Goldens are nice and sweet, and it's a beautiful golden color sauce. Now this is optional, but you can put 1/4 cup or 1/4 teaspoon of regular cinnamon, or if you like the Red Hots, we sell these Red Hots, and a lot of people put these with the applesauce.
And you put them in there and they melt, huh?
Yeah,
do the Red Hots. Do the Red Hots.
Do the Red Hots? Okay. You don't need a whole lot. Maybe for this amount, I think I'll try 1 tablespoon. And you just put them around in there. And that just makes a wonderful tasting, kind of a pink sauce. I can smell those.
Now, could you
Red-
put those in there when you're cooking the apples?
You could, but you know that sugar might stick to the bottom of the pan. Now, last year I made stewed apples with Red Hots. And I did not peel the apples. I just put them in the pan with a little bit of water or cider and sprinkled Red Hots on top of them. And you cook them real slow.
Oh, I think you used plenty of Red Hots there.
Yeah, that was 1 tablespoon. So to make applesauce, a bushel of apples usually makes 18 to 20 quarts of applesauce. If you use a colander, or if you peel them, you might get about the same amount. But that's about what.
So you could make this. You could make up a bigger batch and put it in the freezer.
You can put this in the freezer, yeah. Or if you have apples all winter, you can just make it fresh. We have one of our employees. She makes fresh applesauce. Just every week, just a little bit. And you put it in the fridge, and you have fresh applesauce. And the way to store your apples is, if you want to store them for the winter, put them in a plastic bag with like 2 to 3 tablespoons of water, and seal it up and keep it in the refrigerator. If you do not have extra refrigerator, I have told customers that if they have a cooler in an unheated garage, they can put them in plastic bags and put them in that cooler and keep them in the garage. But if it gets 5 or 10 below zero, they should bring them in. But the cooler, which you're most likely not using all winter, keeps the apples from getting hot when you bring your car in, then to cold. Keeps them evenly temperatured. And several of our customers have come back and said that really works very well, to keep them in a cooler in an unheated garage.
All right, there you go. So we know how to keep our apples all winter, so we can make applesauce all winter. And we have this weekend we have our Christmas open house. Everybody, we're gonna have free donuts, a lot of sampling. We'll have our cans for care. So if you bring an item for the local food pantry, you get 30% off of a non-sale, non-food item. And you can bring in more than one item, as many items as you want, and get that deal on as many items as you need, as long as it's a non-food, non-sale. And we also have our stock up for winter sale with a lot of our canned gourmet stuff. Jarred up is buy 3 get 1 free, and the apples are on sale.
The apples are on sale. You buy 2 bags or 2 bushel and get a 3rd one free of equal or lesser value. So that goes with all the apples.
So yep. So our hours starting today because of the wonderful winter weather that we have on Halloween. By the way, happy Halloween. We're open 8 to 5 Monday through Saturday, closed on Sundays. So we'll see you next week. We forgot Grandpa this week. I don't know what we were doing yesterday, nothing, but we forgot him. So we'll do Grandma Tanner and Grandpa Tanner hopefully again next week. We'll see you guys then.